Q8937-1. Under what conditions might a pilot expect the possibility of hydroplaning? A. When landing on a wet runway that is covered in rubber from previous landings. B. When departing a grooved runway with less than 1/1000th of an inch of water. C. When the adiabatic lapse rate is high and steam is rising from the landing surface. The correct answer is A. A smooth-acting surface is needed to prevent viscous hydroplaning, such as asphalt or collected rubber from previous landings that coats the touchdown region. All that is required to generate this hydroplaning is a thin film of fluid that is no deeper than 1/1000th of an inch. 8939. What effect, if any, will landing at a higher than recommended touchdown speed has on hydroplaning? A. No effect on hydroplaning, but increases landing roll. B. Reduces hydroplaning potential if heavy braking is applied. C. Increases hydroplaning potential regardless of braking. The correct answer is C. When landing at a higher than recommended touchdown speed, the increased speed creates additional lift, which can keep the aircraft's tires from making proper contact with the runway surface. This reduced tire contact increases the risk of hydroplaning, as the tires are more likely to ride on top of the water rather than displacing it. While a higher touchdown speed does not directly affect hydroplaning, it does increase the risk because the aircraft's tires have less time to fully contact the runway and push water out from beneath them. Additionally, higher speeds during landing can result in longer landing rolls, as more distance is required to slow down and stop the aircraft. 8133. What effective runway length is required for a turbojet-powered airplane at the destination airport if the runways are forecast to be wet or slippery at the ETA? A. 70% of the actual runway available from a height of 50 feet over the threshold. B. 115% of the runway length required for a dry runway. C. 115% of the runway length required for a wet runway. The correct answer is B. When the appropriate weather reports and forecasts, or a combination of them, indicate that the runways at the destination airport may be wet or slippery at the estimated time of arrival, no person may take off in a turbojet-powered aircraft unless the effective runway length at the destination airport is at least 115% of the runway length necessary for a landing on a dry runway. 9791. Approaching the runway 1 degree below glide path can add how many feet to the landing distance? A. 250 feet. B. 500 feet. C. 1,000 feet. The correct answer is B. Pitch attitude and elevator are used to adjust the glide path angle and rate of descent during final approach while maintaining a steady velocity. Whether or not an electronic glide path reference is being used, the ideal glide path angle ranges from 2.5 inch to 3. Pilots could have a propensity to make flat approaches during visual approaches. However, a level approach will lengthen the landing strip and should be avoided. For instance, increasing the approach angle from the recommended 3 inch to 2 will increase landing distance by 500 feet. 9792. Arriving over the runway 10 knots over VREF would add approximately how many feet to the dry landing distance? A. 800 feet. B. 1,700 feet. C. 2,800 feet. The correct answer is C. The minimum stopping distance needed for a dry runway will rise by 20 to 30 feet for every knot of excess approach speed carried past the threshold window and onto the runway. Even worse, the extra speed will raise the likelihood of a protracted flare, which would lengthen the distance to touchdown by around 250 feet for every extra knot.